Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Megan Donovan. I am the Director of Marketing here at Sweetbriar. I'm joined by Julian Jurion, the Director of Partnerships at AODocs. AODocs is a Google recommended application that offers G Suite users a specific set of features that aren't natively available on Google. We are proud to partner with AODocs, and I'm excited to have Julian on our webinar today to discuss how you can securely and efficiently manage your documents in Google Drive with AODocs. To review the agenda for the webinar, we'll start with a brief overview of Sweetbriar, followed by an overview of AODocs. We'll then move into document security in Google Drive, and then Julian will take us on a brief demo of the AODocs platform. If you do have any questions, feel free to enter them into GoToWebinar, and we will be sure to address those at the end of the call. So who is Sweetbriar? Well, we are a Google Cloud Premier Partner, and we have been so since 2010. Our seasoned team of cloud experts have extensive experience helping businesses leverage Google Cloud tools for their business, businesses of varying verticals and also size. We offer services for G Suite, Google Cloud Platform, as well as business transformation. So very likely if you're on this call, you've used our white glove migration support for G Suite. So along with that, we also offer ongoing support. So if you do have an issue with G Suite, you can quite literally pick up the phone and we can help you troubleshoot that issue. Also with G Suite, we offer change management and training to ensure that your team can hit the ground running on your G Suite go live date without any loss of productivity. We also offer ongoing training to ensure that your team is leveraging the new features and functionalities that Google regularly releases within your workday. Under Google Cloud Platform, our experts will actually assess how you are using data, storing data, whether you're interested or currently developing custom apps and the infrastructures that you need there. And they'll recommend a Google Cloud tool that best fits your business. So you'll actually be using the tools that Google uses for their own services within your business, which is really great. And not only does that boost your savings, but it also boosts your security. So within business transformation, we work again with Google recommended applications such as AODocs, and we help our clients assess the best application for their needs. We also offer business transformation labs where we sit down with your teams and brainstorm workflows and how those workflows can transition from how they're traditionally being executed into how they can be executed more efficiently with G Suite and Google Cloud tools to boost collaboration. So that's a brief overview of Sweetbriar. I'll hand it over to Julian, who'll talk about AODocs.
So thank you very much, Megan. So first, thank you so much for organizing this event. So we are very happy to work actually with you, with Sweetbriar. So Sweetbriar is really one of our trusted partners, so we are very happy to present AODocs for you today. So what is AODocs? So who is AODocs? So we are the document management product for Google Drive and for G Suite. So we are a recommended application from Google. Today we have around 2.5 million users that use our products worldwide. And what we try to fix with AODocs, so we try to bring extra security, extra document management functionalities into G Suite. So we really try to make the best combination between the collaboration that your end users want and the control that is required at the level of an organization. And it's what we are going to present you today during this webinar. So what type of functionalities do we provide in AODocs? So in AODocs, we have several products, and these products provide these functionalities. So we have workflow capabilities. So if you are willing to implement some business processes within your organization, so AODocs can provide these functionalities all integrated into G Suite. We have metadata and tagging that we can add on top of your documents to help better organization of your files, to help a better search of your files. So we have some check-in, check-out functionalities also to increase the control of the version and updates that you need to do on regulated documents. For example, we have document validation, so it's part of our workflow and business processes, and we have extra security granularity that we bring on top of G Suite, and it's what we are going to present today to you. So everything is totally integrated into G Suite. So it means that as soon as your end user is connected to G Suite, so we will have access to the AODocs control content. We don't have any separated storage in AODocs, so everything is stored in your Google Drive environment. So it means that your users will benefit from the Google user experience. So there is no need of extra change management from what you already invested into G Suite. And we provide extra functionalities such as Microsoft Office files integration or other type of files integration. So I will show you that during the demo. AODocs is a full platform, so it means that we can connect with other applications. So if you have a CRM, if you have ERP system, etc. So we have the possibility as well to integrate with these systems, and we integrate also with a lot of other applications. So for example, last week we did a webinar with DocuSign. So we actually integrate with DocuSign. We integrate as well with Virtue for encryption, etc., etc. So feel free to reach out to your Sweetbriar team if you have some question on how we can integrate AODocs with your existing environments. So what is the business value of AODocs? So we can add value to most departments, I will say, within an organization. So the first teams that usually contact us are IT departments when they are looking to migrate some existing system into G Suite, such as file server, such as Microsoft SharePoint, such as Lotus Notes, etc., and that they want to bring this document into G Suite in order to decommission this old system. So we work a lot with IT departments, but we work a lot with other business departments, such as legal departments. So with our business processes, we can help you to manage your contract, to manage your legal content. And if we have time during this demo, I will show you quickly how workflow of validation can look like into AODocs. With HR people as well, so we have a lot of customers that use AODocs to manage their employee onboarding, so to make sure that all of the tasks are performed before an employee join an organization. We can use AODocs to manage the hiring process, to manage the collection of CV, of resume, etc., and to manage after the processing of these documents. We work a lot with operation department as well to manage the accuracy of documentation, of procedures, to make sure that the documents that are available to end users and to staff are always up to date, that the documents are not expired, etc., etc. And of course, with marketing departments, so we can actually provide the functionality to help a marketing department to interact with external stakeholders, to share content, videos, media, etc., with external people with or without a Google account. So this is the kind of functionalities that AODocs can bring and the kind of business values that we can bring for each department. So let's stop talking now, and I will jump into a live demo. So just to remind what Megan said at the beginning, so if you have any question, feel free to post your question on the GoToWebinar in the right of your screen, and we will answer to this question at the end of the session. So today for this demo, I will really do a focus on the security and the governance, on what we can bring on top of Google Drive. So today, when you use Google Drive, as you know, so your Google Drive content is personally owned by the individual users that actually create this content. So it's great for quick collaboration because the user can actually share very quickly a document with one or two people within the organization or external to the organization. But with this collaboration, so you don't enforce a type of structure for your organization. You don't enforce a type of permissions that you want to have for specific type of documents. And it's what AODocs will bring inside of the Google Drive interface. So let me move into a folder structure that is actually controlled by AODocs. So a structure that is controlled by AODocs, we call that a document library in AODocs. And here you will see a folder structure called customers. So it's a folder structure that we actually migrated from a file server in order to decommission a file server. And now users access this folder structure directly into the Google Drive interface. So I can access my folder directly from my drive. We also provide a picker here where we can access all of the corporate data that is actually shared with me as an end user. And you see this customer folder structure. So what do we bring in top of Google Drive? So the first point is the central ownership for the document. So as you will see here, the documents are not owned by your individual user. So the documents are not owned by me, they are not owned by Megan, but they are owned by a central account on my domain. You can, of course, customize this account, but it's very important is that this account remains on your domain. And then when I go in a specific subfolder, so you will see that all of my documents are owned by this central account. So what do we bring in terms of security? So for each folder structure that AODocs will control, so we have a security center. And on this security center, so you can define who is authorized to share the content. You can define who is authorized to delete the content. And you can define who is authorized to create subfolders. So this is extra granularity from what you have in Google Drive that will enable you to implement some corporate governance for each folder structure. And then you can define your permissions as well. So like in Google Drive, so we have a edit and view access, and you can share this folder structure with individual users, but also with Google Groups, like what you can see here. And we have also a role of administrator, so that if you have a corporate folder structure for your finance department, a corporate folder structure for your HR department, so you can put the finance director as the manager of its own folder structure, the HR manager, the manager and administrator of its own folder structure so that they can manage also the permission by themselves for their own content. So it's what we define here, and then at the top you can define a retention for the documents that are deleted. So you can decide to never delete a trash document, and we can also have a retention period. So by default it's 30 days, but we can change this retention at the level of each folder structure. So if I go back here to my folder, so if I create a document, let's say I just create a meeting minutes. I will just name my meeting minutes. So as you see here, my document is immediately owned by AODocs with its logo. We add a folder path so that if you have a deep folder structure, so your users always know where they are in the structure. And what you will see now is that my document is immediately owned by AODocs. So it means that now it's the corporate policies that are applied to the permission of this document. So if I click, for example, on the share button for this document, as an end user, I'm not authorized anymore to manage the permission, so that your document is really controlled and your document is now an asset for the company. So if I am authorized to delete this content, so I will have a trash button here where I can delete the document, but an administrator of this folder structure will be able to restore a deleted document directly from the trash box that is available here. And if it's in compliance, of course, with the retention period that you have defined for this folder structure. So for example, here I can, if I want, restore this document. So let me go back to my documents, to my folder structure, sorry. So especially if you migrate content from other systems, so with AODocs, you don't have to convert these documents into their Google equivalent. So you will be able to keep your existing files format so that it also helps the change management and the transition of your end users, because we have an extension called the Universal File Opener that will enable you to actually open any type of document in the local software. So for example, here for an Excel document, I will be able to open my document in Excel, and you see AODocs immediately open my document in Excel. We do an automatic checkout, check-in of the document so that only one person at a time can work on this document. So then I do my modification in my documents. And when I have finished to work on the document, so I just have to close and save my file, and my document will be saved back in Google Drive. Because we open the document in the local software, so you can have very complex documents with macro, with complex formatting, etc., etc. We are not going to transform the documents. So it can help some departments that actually work with very specific type of documents to actually continue working on this document, but store this document in Google Drive. So here I show you on an Excel document, but if you are a marketing department and you work with Photoshop files, so you will be able to open your document in Photoshop. If you are an engineering department, you will be able to open AutoCAD document, etc., etc. So we can manage more than several hundred type of file formats. So when I save back my document into Google Drive, so you will see here the modification time has been modified, and we keep all of the previous version of the document in the version area of Google Drive. Last thing that I wanted to show you here, so for each document that you store into Google Drive, and when these documents are controlled by AODocs. So we have a full audit log that is available to your administrators. So this audit log is available here, and we track more than 50 different actions. So we can track who has accessed documents. We can track who has changed the permission to a document, who has changed the title of a document, etc. So that if you have some audit at some point, so you can always export this information and find what's happened to a specific folder structure. Megan, just a quick question for you. So do I have an extra 1 or 2 minutes before the question, or do you want to jump into the questions?
I would say you have 1 or 2 before questions.
Okay. So before to move into the questions, so last thing that I wanted to show you, so it's really just an opening because I don't have a lot of time, but here I have shown you how you can use AODocs to manage a folder structure into Google Drive with corporate governance, with corporate security, etc. We have also other functionalities available in AODocs that could be presented during a full demo, but just to show you quickly, we have also the possibility to add business processes and workflow into your document. So for example, here I have a folder structure where we manage our contracts and NDA. And for example, here you see I have an NDA. This NDA is not yet shared with a lot of people within my organization because we assume that the legal department of my company need to actually review this document before that this document can be shared to a larger audience. So just to open a little bit the topic, so with AODocs, we have the possibility to add this workflow and metadata to categorize your document, and you can have your security that can be based on these tags and metadata. So for this NDA document, for example, as you will see, so we have a specific pop-ups that we can have on top of my document where we can fill specific information. So for example, here a contract number, the company. So I think I have Sweetbriar here, my lawyer that is in charge of reviewing this contract, a contract date, and also an expiration date where the document will be unshared automatically, and we can send notification to specific group of people before the expiration of these documents. The country of this contract, etc., etc. So all of this is customizable, and we can have different security depending on the type of properties that you will define on your documents. And then I can send my document for review to my legal department. So I will say, please review this file. I click on submit. And now, so the status of this document will change to waiting for legal approval, and my legal department can receive a notification where they will need to review these documents. And when they will review and approve the documents, so then my document will be shared with a larger audience. So I just wanted to present this very quickly. It's just an opening, but we are more than happy to organize a specific demo about this specific topic with Sweetbriar if you are interested to know more about what we can do with our business processes. So let me now move back into the slide deck, and I give the chat back to you, Megan.
Sure. So it looks like we've had a few questions come in for you, Julian. The first is, you mentioned workflows. Can you share some use cases of workflows for which AODocs is a good fit? And is it easy to configure a process?
Okay, so we can have almost unlimited type of processes that can be built in AODocs. So we have some templates. So the most common one are processes to manage contracts, to manage purchase requests, to manage the processing of invoicing. So these are the most common processes that AODocs is used for. But as I said at the beginning, so AODocs can be used to manage an onboarding process. So when a new employee joins an organization, so AODocs can create documents, so for example, a contract document, a training follow-up document, etc., with people that will need to actually manage and review this document. So everything is very customizable. So as I said, there is we have templates available, but as a customer, you can customize by yourself your workflow. There is an administration console in AODocs where you can actually design your workflow by yourself from scratch or from an existing template.
Great. Okay. Thanks for answering that. I think we have time for one more question. Can you briefly tell us the difference between AODocs and Team Drive?
So this is a good point. So our product is not in competition with what Team Drive provides. It's more in a complement of what Team Drive provides. So basically, it depends on the type of documents that you manage. So if you have a team that work on a temporary project and where they need to quickly share content with a project team, so Team Drive is a very good fit for that. But for corporate data, so data that need to remain within your organization, so AODocs will be able to provide you all of the governance that you cannot have in Team Drive. So in Team Drive, every user will be able to create their own workspace. In AODocs, you centralize who within the organization can create this folder structure, so that you have a better control of how you want the corporate data to be structured, shared, and organized within the organization when you use AODocs. But we have plenty of customers that actually use both products. So Team Drive really for team collaboration, and AODocs for all of the data that need to remain within the organization, procedure, corporate document, etc.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think that does it for questions.
Thank you, Megan.
Great. Well, again, thank you all for attending. If you have further questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can see my email here on the screen, megan@sweetbriar.com, or to Julian @aodocs.com. We will be providing a recording of this webinar, so you'll have the ability to share this with your internal team. Thank you again, Julian, for having you. It was very helpful.
Thank you, Megan. And yes, happy to organize a more custom demo if you have a specific need. So just reach out to Megan at Sweetbriar, and we are more than happy to organize a demo to speak about a specific need. On the email that we are going to send you, so you will have also a link to test AODocs for 14 days. So yes, feel free to install AODocs, and feel free to reach out to us if you need assistance there. And thank you very much, Megan.
Great, thanks.